But and they probably can vouch for this, I don't think that there's no such thing as really a routine day in prison because you never know what's going on.
What did you do every day?
Right. No, I understand that. I think that for me, I did a lot of reading. Like the first 10 years that I was actually locked up, I chose not to have a TV in my cell because I knew it would just be nothing but a distraction. And during that time, I became a prolific reader. I taught myself out of pain. I did a lot of writing. I did a lot of things that, you know, just to try to break up the time and space because for the first few years that I was on death row, that I was actually in my cell for 23 hours of the day. So, and the only time you ever come out of your cell is you changed up and shackled like some imaginary monster. And when you come out of your cell, you got 2 officers escorting you everywhere you go, and you can't walk 50 feet without turning a circle because the death row unit out at River Bend Prison is Unit 2 actually. You do everything in there. The only time you come out of that building is to go to court. If you have to go to the infirmary or the hospital or something that's bringing you outside that building, because everything else you do in there, you eat in your cell. Some cells even have showers in it, and they put them in there because they want certain people to not be out of their cell for no more time than necessary. So the little time that it would actually take a person to come out of their cell to be showered, they cut that time down by saying that they put a shower in the cell. So, and certainly for me, you know, even though I sit here, hopefully a whole person, I certainly didn't start out like this here. The first couple of years or so that I was in prison, I was pretty angry. And I don't think I ever lost my anger. I think that what happened for me was that a couple of years into my imprisonment, my mother was actually killed in a car accident. And I mean, I was already low, but at that point, I couldn't be hurt no more. I was flat on the ground, so it was at that point that I couldn't do nothing but get up because, I mean, the reality is that, and this is certainly a process that took some process for me in terms of being able to get through this fire, was that, you know, realizing and understanding that life gonna knock us down, but what's important is how we pick ourselves back up. And I think that, like being said, and I mean, even Pastor Walker, the work that they've been doing out here, you know, since they've been home, and I'm out here doing the same work that I'm sure that I know Ben was doing inside, just like I was, and probably him, in terms of trying to reach, you know, young people and let them know the seriousness about, you know, the situation. But I certainly seen people on death row. I got a good friend out there that they have to give them a shot once a month. And you know, if they can get somebody a shot once a month to lay you down for a whole month, there's got to be some powerful stuff. But they give them a shot once a month. And prior to this guy actually mentally, you know, becoming messed up, I mean, this guy, if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have my GED. I was one of the people while I was sitting on death row that I chose to get a GED because I never internalized the ideal or belief that I wouldn't be beyond, that they was gonna actually do what they, you know, was talking about doing to me. So like I said, I did everything that I possibly could to elevate myself mentally. And you know, while I was on death row, me and a couple of guys, I don't know if you guys remember, it was a kid in 1995, I think his name was James Rollins. He was actually killed. He was 13 for a starter jacket by another kid. And it was at that time, me and a couple of other guys on death row, we actually started this organization called Brother United and Proud. And it was strictly getting guys in where we was to reach out to young people and try to make a difference in their lives based on some of the stuff that we was actually seeing at the time. So
very good. Let's let Pastor Walker close us out for today by making some statements in reference to what you believe in reference to what we ought to do. You've got about half a minute to do.
Well, you know, Dr. Haynes, that's the whole downside to this whole death penalty thing, because you take some overzealous prosecutors that's willing to do anything and everything just to obtain a conviction so it can look good on their record, on their resume, you know, to build them up. But and then send some young black man or some young white man or some young white black woman, for that regard, in that respect, to the prison system for no apparent reason at all. And it's a bad situation, Dr. Haney, that should be looked in, should be corrected, because now you take, this man spent 20 years on death row and then another 8 years in the prison system before he was finally released from the system. All of this for a crime that he didn't even commit, hadn't even been in the state.
Very good. And of course, let me thank all of you for your participation, and let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.